So here are some of the different versions of me that are going to be in this. I'm just here at the very end, and I'm going to green screen some different random videos of mine that I've taken on my camera. So I'll be back in a little bit. Oh, and actually, let me also record from here. Okay, so actually, this version of me is the very last thing that I'm gonna film. So before we get into my interactions that I've had with creators, I'll first explain that there's 3 parts to this, and they're all sort of like 30 minutes long. Each one is kind of like the past 2.5 years. It's May 31st, which means that it's sort of 22 days since I've turned 22, and I'm trying to post this tomorrow, June 1st, because that's exactly a year since I've moved home, which coincidentally, it's actually also a year since I told myself that I wouldn't spend longer than a year at home. Yet here we are. You'll see that this whole thing is a combination of things that I've written that I wanted to say, as well as things that I'm just sort of like improvising on about. So yeah, maybe we can go ahead and get it started with Act 1. So here we go. All right. So I'll be back in a little bit, but let's go ahead and get started with this video now. Hello, whomever is watching this. I've gathered some sort of vlogs and songs that relate to the idea of something that I've called creator vid for about over a year ago. I'll show like a little like screenshot of a note that I have, and actually we can have me from October 23rd kind of explain some more. Today is October 23rd, and it's the day that I'm posting the cat obstacle course. I just did like the little thumbnail for it and stuff, and I actually exported the video last night. October 23rd, you're not explaining the concept that you wrote on the board. Okay, I'll just jump cut. There's nothing, but I think this is going to be towards the next video. Oh, that's right, he didn't know that the next video is not the one that he thought it'd be. I've had the idea that I wanted to do a video sort of about the creators that I've you know, had sort of interactions with, that I've looked up to for so many years. I guess that kind of explains it, but that's enough of him for now. So it took 6 months after that, October 23rd, to actually start working on this. So maybe we can bring the timeline to the day that I started editing this, and the microphone quality gets better in a second. Just bear with it. Okay, welcome to a video that I haven't made yet because I'm filming it right now, but it will be made by the time you're watching this, and that's why it's online. Okay, I don't know. Okay, but wait a minute, am I even recording? Bummer. Alright, I think we're recording through this now. Okay, welcome to a video that I haven't made yet because I'm filming it right now. Maybe I can include the other intro. And that version of me is the only one with background music because, for one, he's special, but also his role in this is to say stories of interactions that I've had with musicians, and each story will be from a different beat of mine, just random ones. They won't really connect, because mostly this video is based around YouTubers that I've had interactions with since 2019, and there will be some phone vlogs and journals like March 19th from 2020. It's just hard for me to open up. Like, I want to be vulnerable. I try to be vulnerable at times on like social media and show that personal side. Sometimes it's just hard. There's gonna be like a YouTuber section portion of this in a little bit, but I wanted to start with music just because music has always like mostly been my first main passion in life, I like to imagine. You know, from the ripe old age of, you know, actually maybe I didn't script this part, but maybe I can actually play. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but like 2 years ago, I had a music video called Wonder where I like included a snippet of when I was in 3rd grade playing the talent show, but then I just never posted that little snippet of it.
3rd grader Dylan Kozar is here to play his guitar.
Also, I like the idea of like, people wondering what the song was that I played. I don't know. It seemed like poetic in my head when I did that, but yeah. So maybe we can start with a snippet of Lil Me. Maybe it's already playing in the background of me playing Iron Man at my 3rd grade talent show. So yeah, it goes to show that music and guitar have always been, you know, very near and dear to my heart. So yeah, okay.
Okay, turn it off. But these aren't so nice and blue.
But yeah. Oh, and also now that I've given sort of an outline for this, I'm gonna bring it back to this date version of me for a little bit. Oh wait, okay. Actually, I was gonna explain the whole like giveaway, and so maybe I can do a different video for that. Okay, so the giveaway. I'm giving away like 5 different boxes of painted items, and I'll like put text on the screen to give more info. But I'll just give like a brief rundown of like the 3 ways that you can enter. The first one, you can just comment on this video, and then the second way that you can enter is I've transferred some designs of mine onto Photoshop, and then I put them on like some shirts and mugs and like various things. So yeah, you can buy something from there, and then I'll get an email with your name. And then the third way that you can enter is just to share a mixtape that I just released of songs that I've already released on like YouTube and stuff. And the mixtape goes backwards in time chronologically for 2 years. So yeah, you can also just like listen to it if you want. But also, I don't want to rush the next video that'll be a part of. So basically, if you just don't hear from me before June, then sorry. But so yeah, thank you if you do that. And if not, it's all good. But yeah, we can go ahead and get back into the video.
Yeah. Oh, and also I want to say at the start that anybody that I talk about in this, they've all been super kind to me and very like genuine people. So yeah, this isn't like a drama video or like a tea or anything of the sorts. Okay, this is just kind of me. It's kind of even the opposite. Maybe too much of me just like fangirling out for the most part. So like I even had a song that I made. I think it was like April or May. The first song that I'm about to play, I made April of 2020, and it's called Creators. It was at the old place. I made like a whole set for the music video that was like I was gonna green screen myself down, and I think I'm still gonna do that. I think maybe I can start this video with that, because I don't think this is gonna be the start of the creator video. I'm well aware that usually how my brain works is that I kind of start from some middle point and then I work backwards from it as well as forwards at the same time. So yeah, like he said, I have some remnants of video from at my old apartment that I moved home from June 1st. If you've seen the movie with music, yeah, you can see the floor of the room is the hardwood, and it's just my whole old apartment. So yeah, I have so much more to like explain about the whole storyline and everything, but yeah, I just want to play it first. So yeah, the song as it was exported April 13th, 2020. So I've made a lot of videos for brands and creators. None of them were paid, I'm just a fan of what they're making. I'ma talk about my favorite dudes, not doing this for views. So you ain't got to tag them, don't want to mess up their news. They inspire me, but there's a fine line between wanting to show you like them and pestering the guys. See, I've crossed it at times, so I'll try to be a slight discreet. Won't say much to respect the privacy. The first one I made was for Rich Bryce. Yeah, I really liked his project, got obsessed and tried to weak concepts out of me. But when I step back, seems like I was flexing. I regret it, I'm upset at me. I said DM me in the title, and when he didn't notice me, the next day I made a song called Rich Brian's Ghosted Me. Then he liked the first one and I felt bad. Deleted the song feeling like I kept the L of that. Then I switched from the music to YouTube now. Drew Danny Curtis and I took a bus 2 hours. And I made a skit, they liked it, I was hyping, so then I overdid it. Made a song but they liked it again, so I was happy, no flex. And yes, it was a stretch, but I never got to give the shirts, whatever, they were messy. See, I made them in 2 days, I was stressed that week, and told my mom a month later she was upset at me for traveling alone, but it was worth it in the end. Cause here's some things that were my first on the trip. First time in Milwaukee, first bird scooter ridden, first comedy show, Airbnb, and journey like this. Now let's get to the next of the bunch, Gus and Andy and they said you get to meet So the day of the show I painted shirts again. Then I went there alone, I was nervous again. And in the meet and greet line, someone said that they followed me. I still was feeling anxious, but a little boost of confidence. And talked a bit to Serena and Donovan, and gave the tease to Gus and Eddie. Think I was still awkward with it. Shaky hands on the photo, little blurring it. But I was soaked, went home and I hurried with a little of it. Shipping them, I painted lamp and canvas when they opened on the podcast. Then I may have went and sampled them another song. Man, I just like to write. Oh, and in between those 2 times, I made a theme song for podcast, but outside, and they used it in some videos. So now I'll talk about a little more of a bomb. I used the Cody Kobe, a corny old song, and I wasn't gonna post it, but I swore to a bond. Also, I sorta just wanted to, of course, no response, cause I called him out at the beginning of it, and then I said no one tag him, I was cringing at it. I got some hits and misses, living through the lessons. Think it's time I switch up the perspective. I've been doing some reflecting, I've been up and down, make my head spin. I've been overthinking everything, closure can't be met when I'm left to wonder if I'll then regret this. Like I hope it doesn't seem like I'm posting with things. I know I'm not much in the grand scope of the things, but having people that I'm hoping to be kinda noticing me means the most to me, see. But then I try to not mention it, cause I don't wanna give off the wrong impression. Getting lost, steady seeking for directions, and my songs daily feeling like confessions. It's rough a bit when
and you love to give, but you hate asking for money, so your funds are slim. Steady giving, and some people start expecting from me. Give everything off of your back and still distress on defeat. I'm just one man trying to be the best he can be, hoping that they see what my reflection is seen. Now I just hope it ain't getting too cheesy. Get everything off of your chest and hope the pressure relieves. And if the people that I mentioned are watching this, then I just wanna say thank you for all that you've given. When I'm feeling low, it's nice to go and watch a little video, forget about some problems a bit. And if there's any other people in the audience, then well, thanks for listening, I'm honored for it. And I know I can't give everyone a car or a gift, but here's a little something, man, it's all I can give.
All right, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I remember when I filmed that April 26th, I was going to make a video for it because it was like most relevant at that point. But yeah, I kept on holding off for a lot of reasons. I kept on thinking like it wasn't like good or I could film it better. But yeah, the song just felt really special when I made it. Like it was one of the first times that I started like really feeling like, oh, I'm like showing like a really vulnerable side of me like in this music. And I wanted to like do it justice. I wanted to make the whole video and like tie it into like a project. It was going to be on the album, but yeah, now it's just on like the mixtape that I explained. That's like not like the actual album, but like kind of is, but it's all songs that are already released. The album is stuff that isn't really, but I'm just rambling. So now we can sort of like get into this video a little bit more, and we'll be a little bit more chronological from the start of it, but it still like jumps around at times because I try to let the videos guide. So yeah, I want to mention here that there's also a list of TikTokers that I've made that I've had like some interactions with, like we were just like mutuals, and like at some point have had like a conversation or two or three just about like, you know, oh, respects to the content and stuff. So yeah, it's cool having, you know, those sort of like loose connections and stuff too. And also it goes back to me not trying to like flex or anything, but or not trying to like, you know, seem too full of myself, because I'm just a dude, and I know that they're all just, you know, people and stuff too, and a lot of these are like older, so maybe it's weird to even like bring it up now, but also this whole video is sort of like living in the past, but oh well. So yeah, and maybe we can play a musician story from the April 27th recording real quick. So yeah, the first interaction that I've ever had with any sort of like artist that I can recall is the artist Nelly from St. Louis, and it was around like middle school time, and it was me, my brother, and my mother in the car, and my mom went into the gas station and then came back out, like how transactions like typically work. That happened, and then we drove off, and like as we were driving, my mom was like, hey, do you guys know like a Neely or Nelly? And we were like, yeah, what, of course. And like she was like, oh, well, everybody was asking for his autograph and stuff in there, and we were like, what the heck? So yeah, I guess that wasn't even like an actual like interaction that I had, but it was my first experience, like a little like glimpse into like, you know, this spotlight, or that it was like the corner of like the stage of the spotlight. I don't know, like okay, so all right, first I can briefly talk about the Rich Brian videos. Chronological, I guess it kind of starts with the Rich Brian thing. In a video I heard him say something about like, oh, the goal is to have, you know,
the goal is to have every painting in my house to be painted by me. I feel like that'd be a tight way to live.
Whoa, Rich Brian thinks the way that I live is tight? I don't know, I was still like, you know, worried that it just seemed like I was flexing the art too much.
Although I'm insecure about basically all of these, yet still narcissistic enough to keep them, and although I constantly regret not spending the time on something more useful, I'm still like, you know, kind of just embarrassed of how I handled that and everything, because it's an artist that I look up to so much. I wonder if Rich Brian would want to collab.
But still, when he didn't reply to it, something compelled me to like make a song.
So then I made a song afterwards that was like, Rich Brian's ghosting me.
Yeah. Rich Brian, why you ghosting me? I don't know what I expected to see. I just made this little post, but he still hasn't really said shit.
And I made it to a beat that I ended up like turning into an actual song. And I remember even when I made that, it was kind of the idea of a song, and I was like, well, why did I just like ruin this beat by making this dumb video about it?
I even sent him a message, man, am I obsessing? I mean, maybe he just hasn't read it. Nah, he's always online, man, he just probably guessed there. I was trying to feed off his successes. Forget clout, man, I just want to know him. If we made a song, we ain't even got to post it. Yeah, Rich Brian, why you mess with my emotions?
And yeah, it was like a couple hours after I posted the song, then he liked the first post, and then I started like feeling terrible for both of them for some reason. I think I was also like embarrassed of like ruining the possible connection, so like I kind of just like distanced from the whole thing. And yeah, here's me reading some journals about it.
What I did today: wrote and filmed, posted the Rich Brian song, took like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. with eating breaks. Posted the Rich Brian song, it has 0 likes, probably gonna delete it, day wasted. Man.
And maybe he didn't even like see the song, and maybe also like his like was out of like, oh yeah, cool. But yeah, and I guess it was nice to even get it, but I don't know, I just started like feeling weird about it, because then also a lot of other people like started liking it because they saw that he did, so like there was like the pressure of like, and they all seemed like really supportive of it too, like his fan base was really nice, so there wasn't really much reason for me to like, you know, get so in my head about it. But I don't know. Yeah, okay, so maybe we can play another quick musician story from April 27th.
Okay, so now I'm gonna get into the first face-to-face interaction that I actually had with an artist. It was the artist Smino, who is also another STL St. Louis representative, is where I'm from. So yeah, I don't really listen to Nelly. I still listen to Smino a lot. He's still very good. You may recognize his name from a couple songs of mine. I think or you may recognize his name from a phone journal that I have from November 15th, 2017 that I wanted to refer to, but I didn't actually write what I wrote, but there'll be a picture of it, you can read it. Okay, so anyway, me and my friend Colin, we went to this Smino concert. It was really cool. I'd probably have some videos and stuff, I think. But yeah, and then after the concert, outside of the venue, Smino was just like there talking to fans, and we were like, what the hell? So like we went up to him, and my friend was like, oh, can you take a picture of us? And I was like, yeah, of course. So I took it, but I didn't even realize until like later when my friend posted the picture that my hand, I guess, I was so nervous that my hand was shaky and the photo was blurry, and I still feel bad for that. And it was really awkward because after I took the picture, my friend was like, oh, do you want to take a picture with him? And I wanted to, but in my head, my brain processed the interaction like, oh, this man is busy, he wants to take pictures with other people and stuff, and I didn't want to feel like a nuisance, so I was just like, no, I'm good. But then afterwards, I started replaying the situation, and I was like, oh shit, to Smino, I probably just seemed like I didn't want a picture, and I seemed like a dick, but like I did want to, I don't know. So yeah, I guess that's another interaction.
So yeah, that was in fact another interaction. So now into the timeline of the song, of the Drew and Danny and Curtis tour that We Are Two Different People. Well, it was like a whole thing, but okay. So to help tell the story are actually 3 filmed versions of me reading different journals of mine that are from around that time of 2019.
From the new apartment, the journal, this feels like a good time. Just kind of like the little sketches that I was trying to draw up before. I wish I would have spent more time on it. I guess I was going through like a little abstract phase, and I guess I kind of still am.
I'm in a Milwaukee hostel right now. I got to the hostel, met a guy who was pretty chill, but after like a minute, I've already talked about this in video.
I got this like Airbnb, and it was like a hostel kind of, so there were like other people there, and the first guy I met, dude, I was talking to him for a little, and then out of nowhere, he just like took his shirt off, and then just like kept talking to me about like just like where he's from and what's he doing and stuff, and I just thought it was the funniest thing ever, but I couldn't laugh at that moment.
And the lady at the front did some bits and stuff, so that was cool. Then I got to the theater too early, and they weren't letting people in.
And then I was anxious a lot. I stayed in the bathroom for a while, I remember, like before the show, because I got there too early and I didn't want to talk to people. There was just like the giant lobby, and I was there alone, so I just like went in the bathroom. And then I came out of the bathroom, and I finally built up the courage. I was kind of walking around, and I saw a group of like probably like 4 or 5 guys, and I like stopped, and I was like, oh hey, like what's up? I don't know anybody here. Is it cool if I talk to you guys for a little? And they were so nice. We were chatting for a little bit, and then it was like only a couple minutes, because then they called and we could go sit down, and our seats weren't by each other, so then we sort of went our separate ways, and I was like, well, I guess see you later. I never saw him again.
Then I went and sat in a theater by a kid who I'm pretty sure who was named Dylan. I could have sworn that's what the lady said. I still hold true by that. I'm almost certain. But yeah, the show was amazing. I was laughing so hard at so many times. Drew had so much Kyle Mooney vibes.
I remember thinking at so many times it was like so Bo Burnham-esque with you know, how they presented the whole show.
And also, I had a bunch of vlogs where I like mentioned Bo for a second, but I've never had like any interaction with him, so yeah, I left all those out. But love the dude. But again, And also it was kind of funny after I started like working on this video and like seeing those videos, connecting to Bo and stuff, he announced his comedy special, his first one in 3 years, that he said like he was done doing them. So yeah, that's really exciting. It hasn't came out yet. Yeah, I never got to see Bo live or anything, but yeah, I remember always wanting to. So I guess like the We Are Two Different People tour like filled that hole in my heart that I suppose that I always crave.
So yeah, that whole experience was cool, and
That was cool. And I don't know, just the whole trip was so cool, man. I remember it was my first time riding a bird scooter around, like I say in the song. Plus I can make that TikTok for the show, and it leaves more open-ended how I didn't give them the shirts.
I've gotten a few comments in my day comparing me to Drew and Danny, and I've realized that the only way for me to find out if I am me or them is for me to go to their show, where they prove that they're two different people. It's a little confusing, but first, in case I run into them, I gotta have a defense ready, so naturally I painted them shirts.
And it was like the first video that I made for creators, and it was the first time I had some sort of like interaction back from them when they liked it. I thought that was so cool. I'm gonna ride the bird to downtown again tomorrow, and probably to the lake in the city some more, but probably gonna head to sleep now. And that I did.
And didn't get to give them their shirts, but at least now I know that I am in fact me and they are them.
So yeah, that whole show just like held such a, you know, genuinely special place in my heart that I won't ever forget. So
The other day I made a video about how I traveled 2 hours.
I could make a song.
Why would you?
Yo, what's up? It's the voiceover guy. Danny, Drew, and Curtis. First, sorry if I'm seeming like a burden. I saw you like my video, which already made it worth it. But I don't know what to do with these shirts.
Next is the Gus Johnson comedy show. But first we can play another quick musician story. Okay, so the next one, it was 2019. Wait, let me think for a second. Okay, so the next one, 2018. 2018, me and some friends were at like this festival kind of thing, like Summer Smash. I still have a shirt from it. So yeah, there was a point at the concert where everybody was like kind of like in this like big crowd, and like I didn't really like want to be. I'm not always like the biggest like concert type person. Just even in general, even large spaces of people like always makes me anxious. Well before the pandemic, and then the pandemic made everything like infinitely worse, and now I'm more anxious and awkward and nervous and not cool as ever. But okay, so we were at this festival thing, and there was a point where I was like, my little throat is parched and I hate people. So I went and I sat on like this little like lawn part where it was kind of just me and then some other people like scattered about and stuff, and I was just hanging out. And then Gyps walked by, and I was like, oh, what the heck? So I mustered up the guts to very awkwardly say just like a bunch of, I remember like I rambled and I kind of just speed talked like, oh, I love you and Felly, I've been listening for many years, and I talked for a bit, and then he was like, okay, thanks, and he was very nice about it, and it was funny because then afterwards it was like a little awkward silence for a second, and then he was like, so do you want a picture? And I was like, oh yeah, that's what people do in this situation, is ask for a picture. So yeah, then I got a picture of me looking very flustered, but yeah, it's a picture of the sorts. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, this is like a really one that like I've been excited for. This next one, what a cliffhanger, that what a cliffhanger. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to do it like section by section, but okay, on to the Gus Johnson comedy show. There's not that much from this one, but it was still a fun time. Okay, so then I think we can go to the Gus Johnson show and start talking about that a little bit. Yeah, that was so crazy too, because I remember seeing like when he posted the flyer, and the comedy venue that he was going to was literally like a 5-minute walk from me. I was like, dude, it's so perfect. So of course, you know, I bought a ticket like immediately.
Video for Gus shirts, and then some other sketches. Oh, here's where the sketches were for the Grace Johnson and Eddie Bergback, or Eggy Bergback. I wish I would have spent more time on those shirts too. I feel like I was trying too hard to make that just like a quick little meme, but I probably could have put a little bit more time into it. But the Gus and Eddie shirts, oh yeah, they were like Halloween costumes when they were on Podcast But Outside, so it was like a weird like combination of things, and I don't know why I picked those. Yeah, it was just one of those things. It was what it was. And then here's some others.
Again, so nervous, dude, when I got there. And also, I remember reading something that it was like a 21 plus venue, and at that point I was only 20, so I was so nervous that they were gonna card and stuff too. But when I got there, they were cool about it. Gus played and sang a bunch of songs that were really good, and then his comedy was like really funny. I remember just cracking
And
up.
I was just cracking up the whole time. But then the show
And again, I was just so awkward. I wanted to like talk to the people around me more, but like I couldn't bring myself to do it. There was like these little tables and stuff. At one point I like asked for the menu, I think, from the people in front of me.
So yeah, I have some phone videos of me making the 2 shirts also. And then at the very end of the show, it was Gus, and then Eddie came on stage, as well as Danny Gonzalez was actually there, and they all like just kind of took crowd questions. I remember like wanting to ask something so bad, but just so intimidated and nervous. I was like, no way. I kept on like thinking of questions, but then I was like, no, don't say anything.
But then the show ended and it was time for the meet and greet.
And then in the meet and greet line, I was gonna leave before it, but you know, thankfully I built up the courage to kind of give them the shirts and everything. And they seemed so appreciative. I just remember that I didn't want to like take up too much of the meet and greet time because there was a bunch of people behind me. But I remember we just kind of like chatted for a little bit. I made like some sort of like goof or whatever, and then I was like, all right, well, thanks guys. Just so nervous, and then I walked home.
And then here's the sketches of the Boy Support Boys. Some hands, some better than others. What are some of these? Some of these look painful. So yeah, and then some progress pictures of the Gus and Eddie lamp, and then me sending it.
The unthinkable happened. Gus gave me a signed picture of him, and now the universe was unbalanced again. I've realized what I had to do, and that's to paint them more things and then send it to their P.O. box. It was the only
Yeah, Gus and Eddie, they did mention me on their podcast.
I couldn't believe what my little ears were hearing.
Boom! Thank you, Dylan Cozart.
Whoa! Oh! Gus and Eddie Lamp.
Gus and Eddie Lamp.
And then I sampled them saying, oh, Gus and Eddie lamp.
Oh! Gus and Eddie Lamp.
Gus and Eddie Lamp.
Yeah, and I'm just another fan, but I'm glad you guys like the Gus and Eddie lamp. And the canvas, I was somewhat panicking that it might damage when it was in transit.
And Gus Johnson actually had like 2 or so videos where he had like the lamp in frame of it, and then I think he even like replied to on like Twitter before. I don't know if I'll be able to find that, but so yeah, it was even like almost disorienting to see that. I was like, wait a minute, that was at my house one time, and now it's in this YouTuber's video that I don't know. It's
It seemed like, you know, a wholesome interaction, but I don't know. I also like felt a little weird about that one too. Of course, there's aspects that I like overthink about like
more, because I remember when, you know, everything was happening there, I really wanted to make a YouTube video and talk about all that a little bit more, but then I just kind of never did because I was always so focused in like these 1-minute TikToks and everything that I didn't want to like branch out too much and put energy into, you know, other things. I just didn't want to put the time into the videos, but obviously now I've been doing that more so, almost too much.
just kind of like wondering if it seemed weird from like, you know, their perspective.
Dylan Cozart's the guy that gave us the t-shirts at the show.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, his art is on point. Look
he
at that
put that
shit.
in a Twitter video.
And there's really only like one last story from the April 27th. It's rather long, so I'm going to start playing the story now, and then it'll continue throughout in sections. Again, it won't make sense to the storyline, but yeah, it'll just be its own thing. So yeah, this is like a really one that like I've been excited for, this next one. And actually, I've wanted to make a video about this for so freaking long, but I just never knew like how to go about it, or I don't know. There was a lot to it, so yeah, okay. It's a couple stories about 2 artists that I've listened to since middle school, and it's Mac Miller and Chance the Rapper. You can see, and also in the sequel documentary, the day where I'm like eating and talking to the camera, and I cut out a line that says "Story for a Different Day."
It's like my 5th Mac piece. They're always like some of my favorites to make, just because I always think about it. And also the suspense gets built.
This is the story. So
some of my favorites to make, just because I always think about, you know, the night that I met Chance and stuff. And
also, since we're now moving into the timeline for 2020, maybe I can show a snippet of me from December 8th of 2020 when he thought that he was recording a end of the year video.
I'm gonna try to plan this end of the year video out a little bit better. Today is December 8th, 1:07 p.m. I suppose I can state. And also in that last end of the year video, I actually had a line where I said something about, I guess I can just play the clip.
Welcome to the 2020, same crew with some new gears, same shoes with some new gear. New year, past one I spent cooped in my room here. It ain't nothing new, and I still can't grow a cool beard. It's a new year.
So I sort of grew this beard out of spite from my past self, thinking that I couldn't do it, but also I think that I just couldn't at that point.
So yeah, the start of 2020, beginning with a story from a YouTuber that I was never really sure how to tell.
There's a lot of talk about the whole Danny thing. I don't think I'm going to include that in this video. The more I film this video, the more I realize I don't even know if I want to make it, man. I don't know. And also, I think I'll probably cut this part out of the video. I haven't ever talked about the whole experience with Danny.
I only like briefly mention it in vlogs at like 2 points, but like I never like posted online about it. So yeah, I'll give the story. So yeah, Danny posted about needing a videoer and editor, and I remember I sent him a whole email when I was on the train from Chicago to St. Louis, like going home for you know, the holiday break and stuff, and I didn't think anything of it. I was like, this is, I mentioned how I made the videos before in the past, but like in my mind I was like, this is not gonna go anywhere. But then like he ended up replying back, and like I couldn't believe it. It seemed like, you know, he wanted to schedule an interview, like a video face-to-face, like on the computer, and like I remember I was just so anxious constantly. And also keep in mind that the previous semester, like the last half of 2019, I had basically spent like my whole time like working on like music and videos and like just trying to like, because it was like the first time that I ever like had any sort of audience, so like I just kept on trying all that I could to like maintain it and stuff, which ended up like making me lose like my scholarship for school. Like I still had like some things going for me, so I remember even like during holiday break I like would like explain to family members like, oh, I'm like gaining some money and stuff. And then like on the call I remember like one of the first things that he mentioned was kind of like about like school and like, you know, what I'm doing and stuff. And I remember like I started the conversation off on the wrong foot, because I think I remember like to him asking, wait, it's like such a normal question, and like I think I remember my response to him sort of being something like oh, starting with the heavy hitters or something, like saying as if like the question like it's such a normal question, but like it just put me in my head a lot, because it was something that like I was super self-conscious about at that point. Like I wasn't sure how to discuss everything, and I think I just made it egotistical by saying, oh, I'm like selling paintings and stuff. And I think maybe at that point like he could tell that like I was, I guess, most driven within myself and my own creations.
You know, I could tell that he like actually, you know, was looking for a filmer / editor and just somebody to help him with the videos. And it almost like I couldn't be that person, because for one, I didn't like live in the city. I had my apartment there that the lease was up, you know, in May or so, and then I lived like in St. Louis.
But he was like so nice on the call. I remember he like mentioned that he like had watched some of my YouTube videos, but like I couldn't comprehend it. Like I didn't want to mention or talk about any of my own videos, and then I didn't even like mention any of his videos. Even like he brought it up a couple times, like specific videos, but like at that point like my brain was just so like all over the place that, but I had like seen like every single one of them, but like I just didn't want to like super fangirl out and say that, so like I just ended up like not like saying anything.
Also, I was so focused on myself back then, you know, just always wanting, and I guess even still so, and I've always been that way, that I've always just wanted to create on my own and just make what's, you know, from my own brain, and bad about the collaboration aspects.
Well, unless it's, you know, collaborating with past versions of myself, but yeah. Okay. And I thought it was so funny because afterwards he like emailed about how he found somebody who fit the role perfectly. I remember reading that email. I wasn't even like that sad. I was like, all right, well good for him. But then he released the video where like it turned out that like he was the person to fit the role perfectly.
And I remember I almost wanted to mention it like in the like creator song, because it was in the timeline of that, but then I just kind of like, I wasn't ever sure like if it was okay if I were to talk about it, because he never talked about it. But then I realized later, like, what if he never talked about it because he was always waiting for me to say something about it? Because at that point, like, I had made like a bunch of videos, even like around in January of 2020, I remember Curtis like kind of shouted out a bunch of like TikTokers
that I really like, who I think are funny.
And I even made a video about that.
I was so happy that I didn't even know how to react. First reaction I could have had is a fist bump. It's subtle. You song. Thank you. Nah, that'd take too much work. What I had is to make a video about the list of reactions.
But then like I just never spoke about how I actually talked to Danny. So like again, like I just wasn't ever like sure like if it was okay if I could. And he never gave the impression like as if it like wasn't okay that I did, but like I don't know, I just wanted to like be respectful, but then like it's weird because then it almost turns out like disrespectful, like never mention. I don't know, it's like it's such a weird thing, man. It's hard to explain. It's such a weird experience, but it was cool. He's recently released the video and I was glad to see that he like found somebody who could like sort of help him with it. I've like told 2 friends. I don't even know if the 2 friends like believe me, but like I remember during the call I didn't want to like video or anything, and like I tried to just be respectful, so I hope it's okay that I even like mention it in this video. Again, you can't live in the past, and things worked out as they did for whatever reason. But also I think there was so much that I learned, you know, from that call and experience, and also like since it was right around Christmas, like the only thing that I asked for Christmas was like an actual camera, so then I could like help for like the filming and stuff. So yeah, and it's still like the camera that I've used since then, so now like, you know, about like a year and a half or so. So yeah, and I think it like pushed me to like, you know, create in different, you know, outlooks for, and I think it just gave me like such a different like outlook for like creation and stuff. So yeah, it was still like such like an inspirational moment to like learn from and grow from. So yeah, and I also even learned Final Cut Pro for like to edit one TikTok video, because that's what he like said that he would prefer to use. So I was gonna like completely switch over, but then when he sent the email, I was like, well, I mean, at least I can still use my Premiere Pro, what I'm used to. So yeah, again, it's just the little stuff, I suppose. Okay, so I wanted to actually tell this story kind of through my past words. These are all like screen recording of my phone journals. So yeah, it'll make more sense as I like read more and explain more about this whole situation. But this is just the stepping stone, the starting point. So August 10th, 10:51 a.m. On the way home now, but I started thinking about how I've listened to so many artists before they were big, not to be hipster or anything. Okay, so 8th grade, Cam's mom paid for me and him to go to Mac Miller's Space Migration Tour. Oh, and actually maybe, I don't remember the year, probably like 2014 or 13 or 12. I'll like include a picture to like show receipts. But okay, also shout out Cam's mom. I'm still grateful for that. But yeah, the openers were Earl Sweatshirt, The Internet, and Chance the Rapper. I started listening to Chance so much and others sort of. But yeah, just seeing them sort of get huge was insane. There's so many artists I have like that, Mac Miller being one too. Oh, and John Bellion, he's a giant pop star now. And I listened to him way back then. I feel like a hipster, but it feels sort of nice, sort of contributing to their growth. Yeah, again, yeah, I know I don't want it to seem like, you know, egotistical or anything of the sorts. A lot of the times, like, it doesn't even like make sense in my brain, like thinking about listening to them and like literally watching their fan bases grow and like them developing as their own self. And also like it gave me like so much hope. Like I remember like in middle school, around when I started like actually making music of my own, that like, you know, oh, this independent thing like can be a possibility. Because before then, like my mind was always like, oh, you need to get a record deal and go through the label and like this and that and like all the like, you know, classic route of, you know, to become, and that's how it was for a long time. But so yeah, I very much so credit a lot of these artists for like giving me like faith and like trying to start making music. And you know, again, the first songs were like so awful, and actually maybe I can even like play a couple of like the early songs that I made.
Got my whole life ahead of me, eyes on the topic, blaster from the planet, and I'm waiting for my rocket.
And also all those old songs were recorded through a gaming microphone that I still have. It's in my closet, like I know where it's at. I don't feel like getting up right now.
It's that Italian on the mic again. I've got my spaghetti in a bowl. When I spit my verse, I've got them stopping like a poker fold.
But so yeah,
why the long jaw joint on point? I'm a wizard of time, set of the rhymes from the end of the line. Cut back like some scissors on spines. Crappy flow with no paddle to row. Laughing out when I'm flipping the signs. Rapping out, I'm the cat's meow.
So yeah, now to the next YouTuber interaction that I mentioned in the song, podcast but outside, even though it was like before, well, they like have like spanned across the whole timeline of everything, because even like I think at this point I've made them probably like, I think 4 or 5 different like jingles and stuff.
The theme song you're about to hear is by Dylan Cozart.
It's the podcast but outside, opposite of indoors.
Repeat artist, yes. Dylan Cozart.
Dylan Cozart did another song for us. And
Dylan Cozartist.
Dylan Cozartist.
Outside, it's a podcast but it's outside.
podcast, but outside. Watch it in your downtime, cause when there's crowds around them, it feels like you left the house. Kind of, it's outside, where the sky and the clouds are, and also all the birds that are just government drones. Wake up, sheeple. That's why I stay inside, nerds.
Hello and welcome back to Podcast But Outside.
Very funny podcast. I still listen to it. I get in phases on and off. The video editing is so funny, and like Cole Hirsch is just like always a genius. Even like his YouTube channel is just so funny. And Andrew Machon, of course, equal parts funny. They are just there are a certain type of people who like, you know, seem like they're always in character and like goofing and joking and stuff, but there's also like such a genuine side to them that I can always see. So yeah, a lot of these creators, I guess, have that, where it seems like, you know, they're very nice and genuine, but like, you know, they're good at like keeping up the comedy facade, which is something that I'm not always the best at. I've been way too serious lately, but again, I'm just trying to find different versions of myself, so it applies. Okay. Oh, and also I have another little section where I say, if you want more Dylan Cozart lore, another section of the Francesco's Art / Painted Walls song that I showed earlier, I say, oh, I didn't show the name that I went by. Eventually uploading them to YouTube, going by a different name I won't say. And then on Mid-Sized Meerkat, I tie up those loose ends, and I'll admit I was still embarrassed then to say the name I went by. So I'll say it now, if you wonder. Gadman's by Gadman, name tag backwards. And also on that EP, I said that there's an album coming soon. An album coming soon, and some friends on a few tracks. Well, who's to say? Guess you gotta stay tuned. And now it's a year and a half after that EP, and the album is finally releasing. I think, again, the album isn't even done from like this perspective of me, but I just wanted to film this video just because I want to get working on it, because I've been working on it forever, and I always like to work on so many different things at the same time, so then they can accumulate and be done in their own times. But so yeah, isn't that fun backstory? Maybe. Okay, back to talking about Cody Co popcorn video. Kind of applies to this story, but yeah, I had no like interaction with him like personally. So what up? It's Dr. Linguini, and this is actually Cody Co's beat, but I messaged him and asked if I could use it, and he didn't reply. But his tweet from July 8th said that his beats are quote free to use. So here we go.
I be popping this like popcorn. I said no one tag him, I was cringing at it.
So yeah, the next little like reach out and like actual interaction, now it's kind of just like repeating people from the previous verse, but like continuing forward on in the storyline. Yeah, it's some past journal readings will lead into right, draw out headers on website. Whoa. That's really funny. Okay, wait. Right, draw out headers on website. I wrote those like a little bit after I did the Milwaukee trip, which was in October, which is really funny because then I never did that. I remember I had this idea and I was like, oh, I want to revamp my website, but then I never did. And until like, I think it was like May or April. Oh, is it April or May? I made a video and I made a video for Drew Gooden.
So much pizza in this movie that it is almost impossible to watch without wanting to order one yourself.
Well, Pizza, they were closed, so I slowly walked to the kitchen to join. No stromboli, that's close enough. Put it in the oven, start timer, no time for that. Put it in the microwave, it's dire, then back to the oven for the crispiness. Take it out, turn it off, and I'm dipping into my bed again. Back to the Drew video. And it was like in relation to his Squarespace website. Like he had like, the camera battery just died. But yeah, that's funny that I kind of had the idea to revamp the website around the same time that I went on the Milwaukee trip, because then they ended up kind of combining together. And Drew said this.
If you guys do end up making a website, be sure to send that to me on Twitter.
And I thought, well, I do have a Squarespace website.
It was that week that I was gonna make the creator video. Like, it gave me inspiration to like redo my website, which is really cool. I think he just like had a Squarespace ad and was like, oh, send me your websites if you got any. And it was the first time like he actually said something to me, so I was like, this is so cool. But then also at the same time, I ended up really regretting that video because I felt like it was just me trying to flex the website, or I felt like that's what some people might have interpreted as, and it wasn't meant to be. It was supposed to be, you know, me showing support for, you know, Drew, and like I feel like it might have just given like some sort of bad impression. I don't know. I mean, he reacted well to it again. And yeah, I don't really know why I felt so weird about that whole website thing, but maybe it's because it was just like after the Cody Co video, and also I had like just made the song, and I remember like felt like after I made the website video, like just was like too embarrassed and like in my head and everything. So yeah, and also maybe I can mention that I had tickets to a Curtis Connor show in April. Oh, and also I'm gonna say this, well, I don't need to say it, but hopefully this shirt will be
painted. Why did I meant to say that earlier. I don't know if I did or not at this point.
So yeah, at that point, so yeah, April 2020, I was still just looking for some like catalyst to start actually editing and making this video. But yeah, then it was around May that I started getting more in my head than ever about like having an audience and everything. So then like from June to September, I just kind of like went away to work on the Moving Mega movie with music. But during it, there was even some contact to Curtis, August 11th. And you could see when I recorded a little vlog August 11th. And I remember I thought that I was going to put it in the Moving Mega movie. So you'll see me mention it.
All right, so it's August 11th. And I just want to add a quick little aside because there's something relevant to when I mentioned Curtis 4 years ago. Got some shirts for Danny, Drew, and Curtis. The whole Curtis Connor video of him just becoming a magician, man. I love those types of videos, man. People just growing, just trying something. That's what creation's all about, dude. Alright, so it's August 11th, and I just want to add a quick little aside real quick because I mentioned Curtis Connor's name, and 2 days ago, I was in like a weird mood while listening to his podcast, and he said something about how he wanted a jingle for his advice segment. So I decided to kind of like make one real quick. And I wasn't even going to add this into the video, but then he just already put the podcast up with him. So yeah, I want to add a quick thank you to Curtis. It's so kind in the video. Here, I'll go ahead and play it.
Let's do some advice, okay? We got a jingle for it, okay? We got an advice jingle from Dylan Kozak, who's a very funny, a big supporter of me and the fellas. So he just sent this to me randomly on Twitter. He's like, hey man, I heard you needed a jingle, so here's an awesome jingle. So Jesus Christ, man, you're insane. Here we go.
We could do some advice. Damn, I need a jingle for my advice segment. Jingle for my advice segment.
Jingle for my advice segment. Insane. That's so good. So hats off to Dylan. Everyone take your hat off.
I don't really have a hat to take off, but yeah, man, that's, oh, here. I thought that was kind of cool. Sort of like some weird conclusion to this. But yeah, and I've made some videos for other creators, but I kind of stopped making those because they started making me feel weird, as if like people were looking at it as just like a way to like clout chase when I was just trying to like show my support. So there's always such a fine line between that. But yeah, again, I just think it's kind of cool.
But then I didn't put it in the video because I kept on thinking, oh, I need to tell the whole story of the background and stuff too. So.
Oh yeah, and with the Curtis jingle, it's like still weird like hearing it like basically every week since summer. I guess it's almost been like a year now, and it's almost every week because there's two different jingles on the podcast that sometimes it'll be one, sometimes it'll be a different one, where it's like two different segments. And also I think about from other people's perspective, like there's people who know nothing about me but have heard that jingle probably like, you know, over this past summer. He mentioned on his podcast how he wanted a jingle, and I didn't think that he was going to even use that, but you know, he did, and it was so nice, man. He was very cool about it.
And also that journal video version is one that I haven't shown yet. I will in a second, but I'll go like chronological. Back to talking about Mac Miller and Chance the Rapper. So yeah, I still hold a lot of, you know, very fond memories of that concert, even though I don't have any videos from it because it was on my old phone. And so instead of videos from that, maybe I can include pictures that me and Cam drew in 8th grade math class instead. Yeah, okay. It's not the same, but I still have the wristband and the poster that so yeah, and I ended up also seeing Mac at the Good AM tour also at the pageant. That was like some years later.
Roll around like y'all for this shit. I got don't vote for this motherfucker, alright? Don't vote for promises were hollow. Now follow. I'll show you where we peace at. How to get my G-Pack.
Also at the pageant. That was like some years later. But okay.
With the faith of a pumpkin seed-sized mustard seed here.
So yeah, okay, back to this. So yeah, this was August 10th, right, that I mentioned this on a journal, and then about a month later on September 7th, Mac passed away, and it was the first like celebrity death that like actually like hit me because like I felt like I don't know, it felt different because I guess I've listened to him since middle school, and it felt like I had seen him like blossom as an artist and like go through all these different phases, and like he ended up like developing so much of like his own uniqueness to things, and I think like not enough people like give him credit for like how crazy talented the dude was.
And he had some music that was like just flexing and messing around, and I like those songs too, but he had so much that was so genuine and so like real.
I don't know, and even like the mixtape Faces, he like produced so much of it. I've mentioned it before that is inspired by I almost feel bad, like it's ironic that like my camera is like about to like die. Rest in peace, man. All right, I'm gonna get a battery. Okay, so like I said, there's a reason that I bring all this up, but so yeah, now I think I kind of want to show a phone vlog from October 1st that kind of shows where my head was around this time, sort of like, regarding a bunch of things, just life in general and stuff that I won't get into in this video.
The whole past like 5 months, I feel like I've just been having a breakdown, bro. Nobody can understand. Like, nobody online, like, no matter what the fuck I do to try to explain myself, I never feel like I can, no matter what I say.
And at that point, I just kept wanting to like get away from online. I realized, I didn't want to do the whole influencer thing, and I didn't really like know what to do. It was just a point in my life where I felt like, I didn't really have many people who like, cared about me. And I started to kind of, not care about most things, well, besides Roscoe. But even at that point, I was so used to like living for myself. Like Roscoe almost even felt like more of like a chore and responsibility than a friend. And yeah, our friendship has grown strong since, and I love him to death, and I'm glad to have him now. But again, this was just a weird point in my life. So yeah, the whole like last half of 2020 just basically felt like the darkest time of my life. But there were some sources of lights, and there was one person who ended up reaching out to me a few times, asking for my help.
I'm gonna try to record this cat obstacle course song. Oh, and I guess before I actually, is the lighting alright? Okay. And actually, I guess before we get fully rocking and rolling with this cat song, I can sort of talk about where things are. I don't think I'm gonna use it for this coming video, but maybe the next one, with the whole Curtis Connor thing, because yeah, what the hell, dude? That's so crazy. It blew my mind that he even like reached out about asking for my help. That was so nice of him, man. He's always been such a genuine guy. So yeah, that was just really cool.
So yeah, Curtis asked me to help mix a song for him, which was I like couldn't even like believe it. And he like already had the beat and stuff, and like he was explaining the idea and stuff, and I was trying to like help in any ways that I could and stuff. And yeah, then he sent me the vocals, and actually like also I want to say like the dude has like good pitch and like good range and like such like a solid like singer as well. Like every song I've made in like recent years, like I always like vocal correct my pitches like for my own vocals, and then like kind of like just make sure that they're like more in key, but not make it like auto-tuney, but just kind of like make sure it sounds okay. And like when I ran his voice through like to where I could manually edit the pitches and stuff, it was like freaking like good, like in the ranges. I was genuinely impressed.
And I spent like a couple days on that. That was just this past week. The song hasn't came out yet, so I'm not like talking about it just because I know that it's like still in production and everything.
And yeah, I asked him to do like some
higher takes and lower like pitches, and
like just so I could like edit them and have like more full of a song. So yeah, he was just always kept on saying like positive comments regarding everything. So
that one of the main reasons that I think this might be the next video is because I've been kind of like in contact with Curtis Connor, which feels insane to say. Like I love showing my support for the creators that I enjoy their content, and it's even crazier when they show support back to me. So yeah, that's kind of the stand in there, and I guess we'll see how it goes. I am honestly like nervous also because I don't know how it's going to be sort of received. But I am sort of glad he has, I think, only one song out. I think Indoor Boyfriend is the only song that he has out. So thankfully he doesn't have a whole catalog of crazy produced songs. I had so many versions of it that I kept on going back and forth with, but the version that I finally sent him was, I think, as good as I can make it. I'm excited to see sort of where it goes. I'm excited and nervous. And also this mic isn't even on because I am only using it to record the song that I'm about to play, and I haven't hit record yet. I wish I could memorize it. This the cat obstacle course. Maybe I can splice in different edits of the past 2 days. Sort of whatever word choice that future me who's editing tends to prefer better, because at this point I'm just gonna ramble on and then hopefully it'll, you know, sound cohesive.
And also, I'm always weird talking like money and stuff, but I do want to mention that like he did like pay me like, you know, pretty considerably well and stuff too, which I even kept like almost enforcing like, no, I'll do it for free, just because like I was just so stoked to even like be working on the project. But he was like, no, like don't worry about it. Again, he was very, you know, professional about it, but just also like very kind, just a cool dude.
Oh, and also with the blood related song, I remember like I wasn't ever sure if I should post about it because I didn't want people to think that like I made the beat or anything. Like Curtis already had the beat and everything, which, you know, I didn't mind, but also, if I'm being honest, I think that made me like a little bit less proud. And I tried to add like, you know, some like filter sweeps and stuff, so like it was still, you know, as much me as I could put into it. But
so yeah, I knew that I kept on wanting to work on this creator video because I had so much story that I wanted to tell, but yeah, also I thought that the song was going to be on the album and the album wasn't done, so I knew that I couldn't make the video for it. So like, again, I kept on going back and forth in my head.
It's a tough thing, but like I don't think anybody looks at it like that, but it's just the fact that I look at it as if from other people's perspective. I don't know, and I try to get better about not doing that, because like it doesn't matter, and like that is the conclusion to this whole video, is that like it doesn't matter, like who cares what you post, who cares what you do, like everybody's just, you know, there's, you know, I think even before the Curtis thing, I saw the Fox season, like Danny's, you know, alter ego, like when he was trying to create the whole other artists and stuff. I remember seeing that, and I made like a little remix for the song too that I was gonna do something with and post about on my TikTok.
Girl, we both juggle problems. I just write mine in my verses, cause every time I try to help you, I just think I heard shit. Is this even worth it?
I've been super excited to sort of see that, and I'm very anxious, and I don't know what to expect. I have a lot of like sort of like, you know, I guess thoughts all over the place, because it could release and then, you know, nothing happens, which is completely okay. You know, I get no gain from it, no followers or any sort of thing, and I'm completely fine with that, you know. But then part of me starts to wonder, well, what if I do, you know, end up getting some sort of followers from it? I only got like single digit followers back from it, but again, like I almost expected to get none, so it was like still cool to like, you know, get some bit. So I guess that's kind of all that I want to talk about for right now. I've been talking for quite a bit today, and obviously I'll, you know, edit in some more future days of thoughts that I haven't had yet, and hopefully make it a little bit more entertaining and such, and I guess we'll sort of see where this video goes from here. Oh, and another thing, I want to talk about, maybe in this creator video, it makes sense to talk about the whole Mac and Chance thing and everything like that, so I think I need a segment of that too, because then that actually leads into like the Rich Brian one. You know, think about the music, you know, connections and stuff before then.
Okay, so like I said, there's a reason that I bring all this up. I remember the day that he passed, after I heard the news, I was kind of just sitting on my floor, not really sure like what to do, because I was just like sad, and I think more so like shocked and like couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, this is fake, you know. So yeah, I didn't know what to do, so I just started painting a piece of him, and actually I still have it. You can kind of see it in between the mic. Oh, Mac between the mic. Woo, okay. Some comedy in these dark times. But yeah, and I know it's not the best, but legally you can't make fun of it because I was grieving. So again, I'm just trying to make humor of this because I know it can be like a heavier topic. And also I look at it in general in the way of like, you know, celebrating his legacy and like the mark that he left here, rather than like the sad side of it. But yeah, okay, so I was painting. I painted that portrait. I didn't really think that much of it. I threw it up on my Instagram, or probably Snapchat. I think think that was when I was still using Snapchat for stories. So yeah, I put it up there. And my friend Allison from high school messaged and was like, oh, hey, can you paint one for me? And I was like, yeah, of course. So I did another one. I actually like put time into the other one. And I still think it's really cool. I had it as my wallpaper for a bit. September 9th, I started it. And then on the 13th, I finished it. So yeah, I took it to the post office and I sent it out. And then that night actually is the night that I ended up running into Chance the Rapper. So I feel like if I don't make a joke about how it was weird chances, then somebody else probably will. So I will say that in the case that they started writing a comment and was like, hey, the pun Chance, now you have to delete the comment. I'm sorry. But okay. Again, it kept on going back and forth in my head, and I kept just distracting myself with other projects, which I've done my whole life, just, you know, this and that. And I made the abandoned short film, and actually I played a little bit of it already, but I want to include some more for the people who did see that.
Exactly. So I think it's as meta and self-referencing as it can get. So is this the part where you end your script and then I break into the outro portion where I talk to the camera a little bit more personally? That was the wrap on the scripted portion. Here, I'm gonna change the camera angle and let's get this a little bit more candidly. All right, cool. And actually, it's hot in here, man. I wanted to keep the sweater on so then I could continue the narrative, but it doesn't matter anymore. Oh, I got the microphone here, by the way. Let the art of it fade, all right? This is the outro portion. We're going unscripted now, all right? All of my filtered thoughts are out the window. Now it's just some good old-fashioned rambles and such. It's also cool that the Curtis song is at like 25 on iTunes charts. So dope. So glad I could be a part of that. Thinking if I should post the remix. I made like a little remix using the acapella, which I did end up posting, but then I deleted it like I think after a couple hours because I started overthinking because I didn't want people to look at it as me trying to like wave ride or anything. So I don't know. I always just get so like in my head about everything like that. Oh, and then I read slightly in my head about that specifically. So I guess you can sort of see that these are I guess you can see that, you know, these are thought patterns that I continuously have. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I just try to show as many different sides of myself as I can to hopefully have, you know, any audience watching have a better understanding of me, and hopefully I can just be of some bit of inspiration or some bit of even just enjoyment. I hope that, you know, you can watch, and I hope you, I don't know, man. I never know what I'm trying to say. I just like, who even's watching, you know? Am I just talking to myself? But well, I mean, he's not wrong, but anyway, I never made a video that transitions into talking about the Cody Co video, me shaving in December. I don't know why I made that. I was just like in a weird mood, but yeah, okay. And at the end of the Cody video,
I made a song last March where I used one of your beats. Oh, now you're asking all
and at
these
the end of the Cody video, I said that I would show the behind the scenes of me shaving if he like admitted that I invented. I don't know. It was dumb, but I'll still show the behind the scenes so we can cut to that. Still, you know, not too late to not do this, but at this point, I mean, I feel like I have to, although I don't, but I'll regret if I do, I'll regret it if I don't, so here we go. Oh man, dude. Oh my god, this is so weird, dude. What the fuck? I don't look like me, this is so weird. I look like I'm about to like yell at my children's baseball games. Oh, that call is off. This is horse shit. Right where I want you. There it goes. This doesn't look real, bro. This doesn't look real. I don't like this at all. That Eddie Burback-esque, man. Eddie can actually pull it off. There's few people that I've seen who can pull off like the just mustache look. Well, of course, I'm having like an actual identity crisis now, man. Dude, I literally don't even feel real right now. My chin looks so small, but I guess that's just like how my chin used to look. Holy crap. And this is sponsored by Harry's Razors. Man, dude, this gave me a freaking brush shaving this. Holy crap, dude. I've never done cocaine, but I assume that's probably what it feels like right there. mutton chops. But I'll keep some of the burns. Do you even burn? Do you even side burn, bro? Burn to the side, dude. Side burn. Dude, do you even sideburn? Do you even sideburn, dude? Who do you know here, dude? Alright, let's get Roscoe. Oh, is he above me? Hey, buddy. Hey, little Roscoe. You know who I am? It's still me. You can give me a little smell. He got in a habit recently where he's been, you know, eating my beard sort of when I wake up, where he'll like be like little nibbles at it, and sometimes it like actually hurts, man. He's found new ways to wake me up every time that the way that he's been trying to wake me up doesn't work, you know. I've been trying to sort of like put most of my energy into like this album and stuff that I keep on mentioning here and there before I get sidetracked and distracted with other things, but I don't know, man. Oh, he makes the leap and he does not quite make it, but he sure tried. Sometimes that's all you can do. Okay, yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna film from this camera again. I still want to do the film for the creator video soon. Is that I'll just have to. Oh, that's fine. I still want to film for the creator video and the end of the year video. I still have to freaking do. I still gotta plan that out more. And I haven't been wanting to like go back through the past and stuff though. I feel like I've already been doing that enough through the songs. Just had an idea, make video about Mac and stuff and connections with second song and meeting chance and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot other stuff that I'm like leaving out of this. Oh, so okay, it was the April 21st. So that night I wrote a whole bunch and maybe this video is how some videos can be, just personal stories, no characters or anything. This was all sort of an experiment. But okay, after that Cody shaving video, I was like really upset at myself. You know, I felt like I showed like a, you know, weird side of me. I don't know. It was like supposed to be a meme, but I just feel like it like wasn't funny. I don't know. It was like another like, you know, joking video about somebody that I had no connection to. And I guess it's just because it felt easier to do that than to make like a genuine video talking, you know, about people that I really looked up to. And again, I still do. And after the Cody video, Curtis ended up reaching out about a different jingle for his like actual YouTube video. It's one about Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson pees his pants like all the time. You should Google it.
After Liam Neeson, it applied to like a bunch of like the storylines that he had in the video. And yeah, I made like 3 different jingle options for them. And one I actually made like a whole 1.5-minute song because I ended up like really liking the beat. And I just recording the Liam Neeson song for Curtis. I ended up making like a full beat of it yesterday. I really liked the little short bit that I made of the like what was supposed to be just the jingle, but I ended up trying to like fill out the beat a little bit more and kind of like ended up just feeling like writing a dumb whole like verse to fit the theme of it. And I don't think he's gonna use it or anything, but like I think it's funny, so I kind of just want to do it just for the shits and grins of it. You know, it kind of felt nice to just mess around with it a little bit. But yeah, I tried to make it like inspired by 1975, and I was even like listening to them yesterday before he messaged. So yeah, it was kind of weird sometimes how things work out like that. But yeah, it was so nice of him to ask for my help with it, man. I want to do it justice. So. And I have the other one too, just a little short upbeat. I kind of like that one too, but I really like the smooth one. So yeah, I'm gonna record it. And yeah, he was even like encouraging me to like make like an actual like music video for the song. So that was really nice. But again, I don't know why I kept pushing it off. I knew I wanted to release it because like I do like the song, but yeah, again, the timing was just off, you know. Liam Neeson pees in his pants. There's pee in the pants of Liam Neeson. Little pee pants. That's Neeson. But also I thought that, you know, the Liam video could connect to the creator video. I made like another half to it. I just made it. It was like May 1st. I just had it like free mixed. Liam Neeson pees in his pants. There's pee in the pants of Liam Neeson. Little pee pants. That's Neeson. The guy, or why he's got pee up in his pants. Don't know when it's gonna be dry. Might help if he fans it with his hands. Liam, I know that we all pee some, but use this toilet if you need to. Or if you're on a road trip, use a drink cup. You didn't hear that from me one time way back in 2nd grade. I was at my friend's crib playing
feet. His sister jumped out from the shower curtain, and I got scared and I had to pee. True story, it was unfortunate, so awkward when his mom washed my shorts as I wore his. So Liam, I know what you're going through a bit, but come on, dude, can't you just hold it for a minute? Liam needs some peas in his pants. There's pee in the pants, and Liam Neeson, little pee pants. That's Neeson. He put the pee in Liam's pee pants. Liam Neeson, I googled it, saw he beats his pants cause he gets too drunk. So he's alright with looking stupid if he feels better when screwed up. Realize I'm the same in a way these days, spinning blazed on my brain is okay. Why am I always embarrassing myself? Always in my head, just hearing it out help. For a bit till I regret it. Did I wait too long that now I seem desperate? Always to myself, wonder how do I exit? I flip and reflections, found a bunch of questions, but this video off that it got in my nightmares. Cause I beat the bed first time in 5 years. Again, I'm not lying here. Wonder the line between funny and downright weird. Cause I remember high school times that were not that tight. Having wet dreams of my friends I was treating in the bathroom to spare boxers. Silent, I can't get embarrassed if I don't care what people's thoughts of I is. All this self-destruction cause I'm scared of the spotlight. Or do I crave depression? Want my parents proud of my life, but could I handle it if there's a time when eyes are on me? I'm not ashamed of who I am, but I've been riding on these waves, hope it takes me to some land. I tried 5 jobs that passed my time, ain't made for this relationship. Straight over the plate, most of my fans, I ain't sad. It takes patience to create the best of plans, but for now, I think my dryer's done. I should take out those pants. Everybody's peeing in the pants, telling my stories, hope people understand. Where Liam Neeson, keep doing you. Problems that come to you, you're gonna pull through. Friends are foolish, keep learning and improving, and you'll soon get green for your blues. Yeah, that's everything you're in it, trying to get in my element, and out of my head. Shit, there's more to life than stress about it. It's just perspective.
So yeah, I hope you enjoyed.
And also I've been like obviously scripting the creator video here and there, and it's been nice to get back to that because I haven't like scripted like an actual video in a bit. I'm just trying not to get overwhelmed, just step by step.
Yeah, I thought that it kind of connected to the whole idea of this video, like, and even my interactions when I would have these interactions with creators. A lot of the times, like, I would, and even like in general, I've always been bad about like sending like crazy long like messages, just because like I ramble a lot in person, and I ramble a lot even like so. Yeah, and I always feel bad about doing that, and I feel like I constantly embarrass myself, but also it makes me feel better to like get those thoughts out into the world. You know, it wasn't the time for the creative video at that point, going into the year of 2021.
Does it feel any different?
I don't know, I had every reason to like get started working on the creative video and make it back then.
Why am I even trying to fuck with the lighting and trying to make it in focus? It doesn't even fucking matter. Why did I make the creative video already? Why
I kept on pushing it off. I just wasn't in the headspace to, I guess. And also at that point, I had like basically finished the whole Delusional Hope project, and I was kind of focusing on wanting to release that January 15th, the 5-year mixtape anniversary. Okay. And I felt like that project, you know, showed like such a genuine side of me, and like, you know, talks about love and like a bunch of stuff that like I hadn't shown that vulnerable side in that aspect before. And I felt like I was going through a lot while I was making it, and it felt like those songs were like just a way that I could like, you know, funnel my sadness into something specific. So like I think that's kind of what that ended up being. And I think it was also just me wanting some story to tell, and then after I released that,
the whole sequel thing just almost makes it forever weird.
A different sort of depression and feeling like nobody cared about me all over. And like I talk about in the documentary, I was just looking for like a sense of connection and, you know, some sort of love, and it seemed like the old mutual friend was somebody who started showing it back to me in a way that I was like craving. So
And there's a lot that I want to say about this sequel documentary and, like, you know, give updates and stuff that's transpired, but I think I just need to let more time pass.
And also, we were sort of, you know, creators that each other had looked up to and stuff. So
yeah, me and the friend who, like, most of it is for and about, we're still, like, sort of, like, figuring things out, and we still haven't met, but
they gave me happiness and also showed me that I can find that happiness, you know, within myself, with, you know, creations and stuff.
And I think the song Happiness hopefully, like, justifies it.
I was feeling like a sad outcast of a captain, drifting in obscurity in my tattered ship, and I was mapless, just searching for some happiness. That's when I saw a person in my path, and clouds that were above dispersed as we chat a bit, so we both been somewhat in.
All it ever is just the self-sabotage, man. Like, I don't mean to, like, mess up every, like, I'm not cut out to, like, have an audience.
Like, creations for myself once again, because again, I felt that before, but, like, it got to the point where I just needed somebody, and they were a person who it just felt like they were in my life at a moment that I needed them. And again, even with all these creators, you know, it ties back. You know, you can look at it however you want.
And yeah, me and them had sort of, like, looked up to each other's creations for a while. So then when, like, you know, things started to get a little bit more serious between us, I think there was just a lot of, like, you know, figuring out how to, like, you know, navigate it and everything. Constantly didn't like the version of myself. Like, I wasn't even sure ever, like, what to do, how to, like, fix myself. I really just needed to feel like I wasn't alone. And pretty soon after I released that documentary, when I finally even started, like, scripting the ideas for this and, like, actually starting to put the foot forward, so I think I needed to experience all that and, like, also just, like, find that love in my heart again, and that happiness and everything.
Me putting just as much heart as I can into things, and then feeling embarrassed about it, but also realizing I need to feel that embarrassment. I need to feel that, you know, sense of pressure at times.
And every fucking time I look back, I can't not hate myself, man. And it's how it's always been.
Even in that video, I remember one of the songs I made using a Danny Gonzalez beat, and
I guess I might as well record this. I, like, wrote this whole thing just tonight in, like, 2 hours, dude. I just really liked the beat, man.
Do you feel?
I said hello when I was awkward.
Quiet?
The TV. Back to art and everything.
And, like,
jeez Louise, man. 7 o'clock. Oh, wait a few seconds so it's not.
Yeah, they say, how do you feel? And I don't ever have a good answer.
But then it turned into, like, again, like, me obsessing about it because I remixed it and then I, like, made 2 different versions.
Oh, I could remix, maybe. I don't know. I feel weird about that whole thing. I don't know if I'll even send it to him, and especially now that I'm making the verse transition. I mean, okay, there's got to be a bright side to it. I mean, there always is. There's always the moments of happiness. There's no reason to beat myself up so much. Okay, change the focus again. The verse being.
And in my head, I think I still wanted, like, some sort of reach out back, but, like, there was no reason to get the reach out back. Like, obviously.
We'll see. Oh, and also, okay, I guess I can give like an update sort of thing. I posted, like, a tweet yesterday, and, like, Drew Gooden was, like, one of the first, like, 3 to like it after, like, 5 minutes. I was like, that's so cool. Like a random tweet about, like, folded contact lens. It was, like, a cool, like, little, like, reach out, because I've been also sort of, like, feeling bad. Like, the creative video, I want to start working on that some more. I still, every single time I try to start working on it, it's one of those videos that, like, so many things should have been a catalyst. I always need, like, one moment where it's like, okay, now I'm gonna start making a video, or, like, put the foot forward for it. I've been finally editing the creator video, so there's hope. I want to do good. I want to show people that I have a better side of myself, like, the side of myself that I am proud of. I don't always want to mope about myself, you know? I just try to create whatever brings me happiness in that moment, and at a time it was the sequel documentary, and there's lessons to learn from it, and I'm not, like, ashamed of the whole project, like, but it's still weird, maybe. I don't know. What can you do? Okay, well, to the future.
I can't tell if this lens is like cool or annoying to look at, but I like it, so. Oh, and I think the autofocus is working again. Oh, in this video I can also make a theme song for Podcast But Outside because they've emailed rather recently. Oh, I like that idea. That's cool, that's cool. I don't know why I'm in the mood to record this little intro for Podcast But Outside.
John,
Why does that sound so familiar?
So familiar.
Previously on Podcast But Outside.
An eventual goal of ours for the podcast is to talk to a celebrity, someone on a John Hamm level.
You know John Hamm?
Do you know John Hamm?
No.
So you're going to be playing the role of John Hamm, and we're going to.
I think like yesterday. It's something. I'm gonna try to record it. John Hamm finally showed. Been 2 years since I made the first intro. Also, off topic. John Hamm finally showed. John Hamm 2 years since I made the first. Been 2 years since I made.
It's Andrew and Cole. Well, that's of course if John Hamm doesn't show up.
What's your name?
John Hamm.
Hamm.
John.
Why does that sound so familiar?
So familiar.
John Hamm.
Yeah, John Hamm. Oh,
John.
Hamm.
Oh, John Hamm finally showed. Been 2 years since I made the first intro. Also, off topic, but shout out Cole. Smoking videos 7 months ago, but I think about it daily. The internet moves too fast. I should say something that's happened more lately, like when John Hamm is on the podcast.
Yeah, John Hamm. Oh,
On the podcast,
Hamm.
outside. It's the podcast, but outside.
Wait a minute. Okay. Sure. It seems like every single day I'm just trying to figure out my brain more and more. You know, sometimes it feels like, you know, it's an ocean in there and like my mouth is just like a small little storm drain that I'm just trying to filter things out little bit at a time.
I think I'm done recording from today. I'm so tired from talking. But it is May 4th, so I just want to wish Curtis happy birthday. Okay, and now I'm going to edit all this. And there's still other parts that I'll record a different day. Okay, so yeah, I've seen a lot of underground talent blow up, but I've also seen a lot that remained kind of close-knit communities. So it's okay if that's what I have. My goal was never to be crazy big. As long as somebody's enjoying what I create, I'm happy. So yeah, I still hold true to that, you know. There's some artists that like I would watch get big. Like I said with like once he got to a level of success, then like his music just like turned out to being just about like you just lose the connection with people like that. And I've had so many artists like that, man. I could list and list, but then there's also so many that blow up and still keep like the genuineness. So like it's a very possible thing to do. Like I said with Chance and Mac, I feel like they've had moments where they've been succumbed to the commercialism, but I think overall they've like remained at least like humble enough to like, you know where they came from and stuff. So yeah, that I always admire and respect. So yeah, if I can just encourage anybody watching, just, you know, keep on focusing on your present now. Try to not overthink the past or be anxious of what's to come, but just... I haven't even really edited that much on the creative video. I was on such a roll, just hit a roadblock where I started feeling weird about it again, and now I've still been chipping away at it. Even I don't... I have like a hour and 20-minute version of the creative video, which vlog parts I would put at the end of it if I would want to, like stuff like this, or is this for something else? Because I'm always some sort of blend of excited and nervous, I feel like. Oh, and then also it's so funny, so I made plans with Jacob and Phil for tomorrow, and I really want to, hopefully I can remember to ask him about the peeing the pants thing. I think that'd be so funny for like, you know, enjoy each moment, man. Just try to make the most of life and just, you know, do what you can. And it's okay if, you know, that now soon isn't the now, but that was a reference to the Moving Mega movie. What am I talking about? Okay, back to structure. Rights of stories, so then... Oh, and I need to talk about... It's 1 a.m. I'm trying to structure my thoughts right now, but you can see that they're so scattered, man. I feel like they always are, and that's why I always work on so many different projects, is because it's so hard for me to like be like, oh, this is what I'm working on. Okay, but yeah, I don't know, I'm doing what I can, and it's always really cool to, you know, see people who like are reoccurring like appear in the comment section and like really feel like, you know, there are people who support me and everything back. I'm tired from talking, so I'm gonna stop doing it now. Okay, thanks for watching. Good luck, future Dylan, who's now probably talking.
I don't think I'll like completely disappear off the internet after I post this, like I'd sort of allude to saying that I might, but I don't think I will. I think I just don't want to put as much energy into, you know, online and maintaining that presence and showing people that I'm working on something, even though, like, you know, every like video I feel like I change my style slightly. But yeah, it's cool having people seem like they care about, you know, me for me. So yeah, I do just want to say thank you. But yeah, I want to finish this album, man, and I don't know how long it's gonna take. It might not even be until like early 2021.
Oh wait, dude, that's like dumb artsy. I hate that I like it. All right, so I guess this is like now towards the end. Maybe I can like still like go back and forth between the other like versions of me though. I don't want to, you know, be stressing to get things done at a certain time, but I do want to, you know, at least do the privilege of, you know, telling people about my life. Anybody who watches. And I need to talk about the Chance thing some more and like how I'm not proud of that. I also have a journal from I think like the day after that'll like explain more about the situation and stuff. So September 14th, 3:23 p.m. Yesterday was insane. Well, yesternight, I suppose. At like 10, I got a call from Tyler saying that him and Isaac were outside a building that Chance the Rapper and Kanye were in, and I hardly believed him, but I Ubered there anyway, and we waited. Oh yeah, and I didn't explain too much in the Chance talk. I was there with my friends Tyler and Isaac. Isaac was my roommate, along with Frankie at that point. And then Tyler was just a friend who was just basically always over. And I remember even like when we went back to the house, we felt bad. Well, Frankie was at work, and then we were just talking to him about how we met Chance, and he's from Chicago. Like he always like, you know, has loved Chance and everything too. So yeah, still sorry about that, Frankie. And we waited outside for an hour and a half. I said at 11 I was leaving, but then it hit and I didn't want to miss out, so I waited longer. And then at 11:30 Kanye comes sprinting out of the building and straight into an Escalade, and it drove away. And also I have some like videos of that they took.
Oh my god, Kanye just got in the car, you guys. He just ran into the car. How are you, Kanye? I'm a huge fan. I love you.
I didn't want to follow. I felt like so weird like the entire time because I didn't want it to seem like fangirling. So like I kept on walking down the block and then back so we weren't like lingering and stuff. But yeah, so we saw like Kanye just sprint into an Escalade and run out. And then also even earlier the night, or I might mention it, that Taylor Bennett, Chance's brother, like went in the building and was like very like nonchalant about it and was like, yeah, I'm just going. And we're like, okay. And I didn't even say anything to him. I was like, again, just so starstruck. And any of those situations, I'm just the worst with my nerves. But hey, in a second, I'm gonna come right back on. Okay. Oh my god. I talked to him for a little bit and check up and stuff. Well, that was mainly Tyler. Like I said, I kind of stood back. But yeah, and then Chance came out. And he like stood about like 20 feet from us for a bit. But like didn't get in the car. He was just kind of talking with some other people, and we were like, is he like being cool about like waiting for us if we want to like get a picture or something? So then like Tyler or like Isaac or one of them like saw something in the background of like one of their story posts or something where they were like, oh, I know where that is. So I think that's how we ended up like getting led to that point. So like it was kind of weird, like stalkerish, but like it didn't feel that way. It just felt like, you know, we were like, oh, we'll just like walk around over there or whatever, and then like if we happen to see them, like so we see them. Again, we were also nervous, but Tyler, shout out Tyler, dude. Tyler just
Hi, Chance. Can we get a picture?
Very, very brave. He actually just even messaged me the other day, or Tyler, not Chance the Rapper, but Tyler just said like, hey Chance, and like that was it. And Chance like looked over and was like, oh hey, what's up? And then he walked over and
I saw you at the Space Migration Tour, dude, in like 2012. Dude, it was like the first
we got the group picture. Again, I can like show like a picture of it and stuff. You can see like how freaking like fangirled out I am, like just geeking because I didn't know what to do. We got a group picture. I told him that I saw him perform in 2012 opening for Mac, and I don't know if he cared, but that concert kind of changed my life. I didn't want to fangirl too hard, so I left it at that. And he said something like, you know, that's cool or something like that.
Space Migration Tour, dude, in like 2000.
But I felt so bad because it was like less than a week after Mac passed. Like again, it was like such like weird like circumstances, but I felt bad even like mentioning Mac. And then also Chance had like posted a picture of that concert like a day before, and I was like, does he think I just saw this on his Twitter and was just trying to like be cool or something like that? So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, still he was very nice. Like he didn't have to do that. He could have just easily ran and sprinted out the building just like Kanye did, and I would have understood completely. But yeah. So shout out Chance. In his eyes, we were just like some crazy fans, like, you know, I don't know. I can just imagine the worst from his perspective. But again, it goes back to like all the interactions, you know, I always feel embarrassed afterwards, but then I also realized that like there was something to grow from, something to learn from, and like bits of inspiration to hold on, and like also realizing that, you know, everybody's just people, everybody's humans, and maybe everybody also has moments where they freaking overthink as much as I do about the interactions. And it's funny because like a lot of times like people aren't overthinking the parts that you are, they're overthinking parts that they did and that they're embarrassed about. So like it's funny how things work like that, I think. I don't know, I think that's funny. Yeah. Oh, and also yesterday I thought it was okay, so me and Jacob were talking, and I like mentioned the pee thing. And it's so funny because like I said the story and then I showed him some of the song, the Liam song, and he didn't even like really recall it, which is like so funny. And even like it was funny because also I thought I even told him this that last time he was here, and he brought up a memory from elementary school that I had completely forgot about, but he remembered, and it was something about like when we wrote a story, he was talking, because now I remember it after he brought it up, like I kind of recall. Again, it's like super vague, I'm not gonna act, I don't know. And we were kind of having a conversation about like it's just funny like which memories like people attach to, because obviously me peeing my pants, like of course it like stuck with me because it was like embarrassing, but I just found it comedic that like I could have never brought it up to anybody, and like, well, maybe his sister still remembers though. And it's also funny that like then I reminded him, and then he made a joke about it at the end. It was just like a funny little goof, and it felt nice to like at least like get it out into the world and even have like that like sort of like conclusion there. I don't know, it felt like a really like you know, I don't know, funny moment. And I really like the song that we made and stuff too. Yeah, so it went well. Oh, the battery's about to die. I don't want to say too much else, but oh, and then you can see in this journal, also it's weird because earlier that day I sent out the Mac Miller painting I did for Alice, and it took me less than a week. I really like how it turned out. So starstruck and I could hardly speak. I had to force words. It was so nice and genuine, and I gave my card to one of Kanye's friends, but who knows if it'll be anything. I don't know. You never know. It was wild though, for sure. Yeah, it never turned out to be any. It was like my old like business cards that I had to make for like a class in college that were like so run down. I don't even use that email anymore. So maybe he did. And so yeah, that was kind of the story of that. All right, well, here we are, the very end of the video. Okay, so I got my, you can see I've still got the Danny, Drew, and Curtis shirts that I never got to get. Still not really sure what to do with them. And then I got my other YouTuber merch, Gus, Eddie. Oh, and then so yeah, I appreciate anybody watching and listening and supporting or whatever. I'll see you when I see you. You know, take care of yourself. And so yeah, I guess this is sort of it. I don't know, man. What do you want from me, bro? All right. So yeah, after this, I'll like recollect my thoughts, and again, I might like dip away from social media. Again, I'm never sure like what I'm gonna post when or whatever. And then here I go again, thinking like, oh, this isn't a good enough conclusion. But at this point, you know, what even is a conclusion? I don't know. I feel like if there's anything that I, you know, have realized the past 2 years, it's that like my mental health isn't safe if I'm constantly feeling like I need to like please other people. But also when I create things, there's always like, you know. So yeah, thank you. Again, I'll link the project in the description, and there's also the intro song that is new. So a different day. I think I kind of want to end this with a song of some sorts. The Spectacle one. I'm okay with being the spectacle.